I just want to share some info on the Extar 5.56 pistol. I am by no means a gunsmith. I'm a hobbyist. I've always wanted one of these. I recently acquired one in a trade for some other guns, and it had issues that I knew about when I picked it up, and I have been addressing them one by one, and I'll go over all of them before this video is over. But I found some new stuff today that I wanted to really touch base on. So I'll give you the rundown. I picked up the gun. It was having cycling issues. It was failure to eject. It was ripping. There's so much force when you fire this thing. If you guys look up Extar, you'll see what I mean. But when you shoot it, there's so much blowback. Which, you know, 8.5-inch barrel is to be expected, but the BCG, the original bolt, which is here, has a very weak spring on the ejector. There's no donut, there's no O-ring. This particular model is the Gen 1, and I don't know how many rounds were put through it before I got my hands on it, but the gas rings there are worn very badly. There was so much slop in that bolt, it wasn't even funny. So I tore it down when I first got it after firing it. You know, I fired it and had the issues happen myself with the failure to eject. It was leaving the empty cartridge in the barrel, in the chamber, and I wanted to fix that and take care of that. So I did some digging, looking around, and I picked up, it's not a reliable, but it's the, oh shit, I think it's AIM surplus bolt, which I don't know who makes Sharp's reliable, but this is identical to it. It does have the O-ring, it does have the stiffer spring on the ejector, it's got the tapered lugs, and for half the price, it was worth it to me just to try it, to fix the issue. So I put that in there. I did some other modifications to the gun. I added the magwell grip. I put a James Madison tactical trigger in it, because when I tore the gun down initially, I was shocked to find all polymer insides, and it just didn't sit well with me. I don't mind shooting polymer upper and lower, but when you got a polymer hammer and trigger assembly, yeah, I had a problem with that. So I put a James Madison tactical trigger in it, put an ambi safety on it. What else? I guess that's about it. And then I took it out today to test fire, and test fire went well. It fired fine. All the issues I had initially were fine when they were fixed. One thing I did notice when I tore it down, but I noticed it, but I didn't really think it was part of the issue, so I didn't put much thought into fixing it. But the firing pin, and I know you're not going to be able to see it on this video, well, maybe, but the firing pin is corroded all over the place, and it's actually slightly bent. The tip is kind of rounded off. I don't know how many rounds were through this gun before I got my hands on it, like I said, but so I am purchasing a new firing pin for it fix this latest issue. So all the recent issues, or the previous issues are fixed. It was fun. I took a shooting today. It was great. But I did have a few light strikes. More than a few. I had probably 5 or 6 light strikes. They would not fire. So I took it home today to clean it after shooting it, and upon further inspection, and no one's really talked about this on the Extar, and I have to do all this on myself because it's a Gen 1. I bought it used. It's old warranty's long gone. No one's gonna fix it but me. So I noticed on the new trigger I put in there were witness marks from the back of the. You see the bolt on the Extar is a little different. Obviously, if you play with ARs, you notice the bolt carrier's cut down. It's essentially the same bolt carrier, but it's got a different gas key for the side charge, and the guide for the slide for the upper side charge. But what I really noticed was, if you see the back of the bolt carrier without the bolt in it, the ridges, and there's actually witness marks here and here from the new trigger, where this bolt carrier is, I would assume, not the spec. So I did a little more digging. Sorry about the camera being out of focus, but it is what it is. I looked at the old trigger hammer, the polymer hammer. See that line, that ridge right there? Not. That's why I changed the polymer trigger in the first place. But also see the dent from the back of the firing pin. But that line on that hammer is from that ridge on the bolt. And I know that because the new trigger I just put in was smooth when I put it in. And after firing today, it's already starting to develop a line, top and bottom. So what that's causing is the hammer is hitting the bolt carrier before the firing pin, and it's causing my light strike issues. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to order a new firing pin regardless, but I'm also going to get a small file and take down the ridges on that bolt carrier, and then go from there. But I love the gun. It's a blast to shoot. If you've never fired one, I highly recommend it. And as far as James Madison Tactical goes, that trigger is amazing for the price. I think it's $89. It's amazing for a single stage drop-in trigger. Comes with the anti-roll pins. They're not the greatest, but hey, for $89, I'm good with it. It works great. So I painted her up, did all that. This is where I'm at so far with it. I have a good feeling that as soon as I put this new pin in and fix that issue there with the ridge on that bolt carrier, we'll be golden. But just wanted to give you a heads up. That's what's happening with the Extar. So 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Pretty soon, though, it'll be reliable. It was fun today. It was a blast. It's I can't explain the giggles that you get when you shoot it. It's a lot of fun. If you've never fired one, find someone that has one or buy one. They're a ton of fun. I'm curious to see what they do with the Gen 2. I'd like to see what the Gen 2 looks like. I've never torn one down. I've never fired one of those, but I'd like to tear one down and look at the bolt and see if they address those issues. Because it's way over gassed. Obviously, it's apparent, and I don't know how they're going to address that either. But I guess they could do a adjustable gas block. But for the most part, I got it's pretty close. So I'll make these mods and put it back together, try it out, and let you know what I find out. But there aren't really many technical videos on the EXP. Not that this is technical and, you know, just a bullshit video, but there's what I think the issue is right there. That ridge, the hammer's hitting that and the top ridge right there, and that's what's causing the light strikes occasionally. Doesn't help that the pin is shock wad, but I don't want to just put a new pin in there and have it happen again. So there's obviously a clearance issue with the bolt carrier, and I don't like the corrosion on the pin. I don't know why that's there. And like I said, it is slightly bent, and it's pretty well dull as shit, rounded over. So bent slightly. It's hard to see in this video, but it is bent. Some odd wear marks on the back. So we'll fix it. See ya.